So what do you do when you hear about a good panfish bite, big sunnies, big crappies? You go to a new lake and you don't know where to start. Sometimes they're in the basin, sometimes they're in the weed line, but where do you start?
Well, that's it. You start either on the basin or you go look at the weed line. So Mike and I are going to share with you how we go about breaking down new water, how you explore the basin, and then the tools that you need to explore the shallows. When looking for fish in the basin, I rely on two tools, my GPS and mapping system, along with my sonar. For crappies, you're usually looking in those basins, say in that 20 to 45 feet of water. What we'll do is we'll drill holes throughout that entire basin area, and then we'll use our sonar to check hole to hole to hole until we see fish on the screen. If we don't see fish, we don't fish. It's as simple as it gets for finding fish in the basin.
So if they're not in the basin, then they must be on the weed line. And the tools we use to find fish on the weed line is our mapping GPS and an underwater camera. We'll use the depth highlight on our GPS to narrow down where the weed line is, and then drive to that spot, cut a bunch of holes along the weed line, and then start dropping our underwater camera and looking for fish. And again, it sounds simple, but they're either there or they're not. And if you're starting to see fish on your camera, that's where you fish.